I did a box opening with this knife, and now I'll do a 1 year review on it. And I'll tell you why I mainly do not like it. Even though it has probably the best overall blade of any pocket knife I've had, and I've had a lot of them, any folding knife. This is kind of a ball bearing deal here. This is their high-end stuff. This is the Vortex Bareknuckles. I shouldn't have even used it because I've been using it a lot. And I shouldn't have used it because I found out from the Kershaw rep at a gun show that they didn't make very many of these with this logo on it and this green. And I'll show you why I don't like this knife. The way the locking mechanism is here, that's a spring. This flat plate here is a spring. It's under spring tension. And watch how it locks the knife. It just goes back, 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 back. This is kind of hard to do here. Let me see, there we go. Locks right in. If there's even a minuscule piece of debris in this little gap here, like on the end of this spring, it won't lock. And it's done it a bunch of times with me, just picking up pocket lint. It's very finicky. And then you're stuck with a knife that won't lock open, so it's incredibly dangerous, especially with a blade like this. This is a knife Jack the Ripper would dream of. This thing's like a surgical scalpel. This is Sandvik, I think they call it, steel. It's from Sweden. It's some of the new formulations of stainless that they're doing, a little more carbon, a little less chromium, blah, blah, blah. But they got a good formulation here. And this baby holds an edge longer than any knife I've ever had. But the fact that it gets plugged so easy just throws it completely out of use for a self-defense knife or a combat knife, for sure. And I've had some other Kershaws that are really good, like the Leak. The Leak doesn't get plugged up very easy, and I've used other knives of theirs that don't get plugged up real easy. This thing, a fleck of sand would definitely stop it from opening. You would not want it in a filthy combat environment, that's for sure. You couldn't trust it. If it opens up and it won't lock back, it's pretty much useless, because of the fact that if you screw up while you're doing something with it and it folds back on you, it could really mess you up. So I don't like it for that reason. I'll show you the other reason I don't like it. If you apply even a little bit of pressure, if you're opening this, once you have one for a while, you know to hold it here, which is awkward and really uncomfortable. But that's how you get the blade open real quick on it. And it's got a fantastic action. I mean, that sucker just flies out. And it's very solid lockup on this. There's no playing that blade. It feels like one piece knife, basically, once it's opened. But if you put even the slightest amount of pressure on this spring, like you have to open it in an emergency or something and your fingers aren't back far enough, it either won't open or it's a real bear to open, because I'm putting the same pressure. See, if I put just this finger's pressure on this sucker won't open. And I'm no weakling. I got pretty strong hands. So, lame design, that's for sure. I told him too, because I was thinking about sending it back and telling him I wanted another knife, and they weren't too hip on that. So I said, well, I want to talk to one of your bosses there, or an engineer, or whoever designed this thing. And I talked to him for a little bit, and I told him it was a horrible design. But this blade is fantastic, my God. it holds an edge for a long time. It's real easy to sharpen too, at least easier than most stainlesses. Some stainlesses can be a bear to sharpen. But I just use ceramics on this, and it brings it back to a razor's edge real fast. Very cool looking, but believe me, you wouldn't want anything like this in a combat zone. It'd get plugged up with dirt instantly, and dust and everything else. It's too finicky.